Alright, so in this video, I'm going to solve the equation 4 to the power of x squared is equal to x to the power of 128. So, obviously here, I want to find the value of x. And the challenging thing here is that x is both an exponent and a base. So it's going to be a little tricky to solve for x. But now for my solution, I have 4 to the power of x squared is equal to x to the power of 128. And I'm going to first start by rewriting x to the power of 128 as x to the power of 2 times 64. And now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m times n, this is equal to a to the power of m to the power of n. So this here is going to turn into x to the power of 2 to the power of 64. Now, I'm going to let x squared equal to the variable y. So now I can substitute the variable y for x squared. So now I have 4 to the power of y is equal to y to the power of 64. Now from here, I'm going to take the power of 1 over 64 on both sides. So I get 4 to the power of y to the power of 1 over 64 is equal to y to the power of 64 to the power of 1 over 64. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m times n, meaning these two multiply and these two multiply. So I get 4 to the power of y over 64 is equal to, these two simply just cancel out, so y, just y. And now I'm going to take the power of 1 over y on both sides. So now if I have something, again, in the form a to the power of n to the power of n, they multiply, meaning these two cancel out, and now I have 4 to the power of 1 over 64 is equal to y to the power of 1 over y. Now, what I'm going to do is rewrite 4 to the power of 1 over 64 as 4 to the power of 2 over 128. And the reason I'm doing this is, actually you'll see in a moment, but now 4 to the power of 2 over 128 is the same thing as 4 to the power of 2 to the power of 1 over 128. Because remember, if I have something in the form a to the power of m times n, this is equal to a to the power of m to the power of n. So 4 to the power of 2 over 128 is the same thing as 4 to the power of 2 times 1 over 128, which is equal to 4 squared to the power of 1 over 128. Now from here, 4 squared is 16. So I have 16 to the power of 1 over 128 is equal to y to the power of 1 over y. Sorry, this should be y to the power of 1 over y. And as you see, what we're going to do is we're going to keep on doing what we're doing until we have something in the form a number to the power of 1 over that same number. So 1 over 128 is now the same thing as 2 over 256. And 2 over 256, I can rewrite as 2 times 1 over 256, which is equal to 16 squared to the power of 1 over 256. Now 16 squared is 256, so I get 256 to the power of 1 over 256 is equal to y to the power of 1 over y. And now, because these two are the same and these two are the same, this simply means that y is equal to 256. Now, remember, we aren't done yet because we're not solving for the value of y. We're solving for the value of x. And going back, we have that x squared is equal to y. So if x squared is equal to y, and y is equal to 256, this means that x squared is equal to 256. So now to solve this, I'm going to take the square root on both sides. So the square root of x squared is obviously x, and the square root of 256 is positive or negative 16. So this is my value of x, my two solutions actually. And before you leave, I'm actually going to check this real quick to see if it works. So going back, my original equation was 4 to the power of x squared is equal to x to the power of 128. And x is equal to positive or negative 16. So I have 4 to the power of positive or negative 16 squared is equal to positive or negative 16 to the power of 128. And because this is squared and this is to the power of a positive number, it really doesn't matter if this is positive or negative. So I'm just going to write this as 16. So now I have 4 to the power of 256, which is the value of 16 squared, is equal to 16 to the power of 128. And 16 is the same thing as 4 squared. So I can rewrite this as 4 squared to the power of 128. And now if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m times n. So I get 4 to the power of 256 is equal to 4 to the power of 256. And these two are equal to each other, so my solution is right. Now, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and also check out my other videos on my YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye.